time for the movie segment. It's January. January's pretty dead for the movies. I hate to say,
going to
man.
the movies right now.
They shot it all in December, and now we're in January. But your friends at Marvel and Disney didn't leave you hanging. No, I tell you. They put out Guardians of the Galaxy on DVD just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas.
You can go home and watch it every day for the rest of your life. And why wouldn't you? It's awesome.
I'm sure you all got 5 copies.
You should get copies for all your friends. Marvel and Disney are not paying us to say this. We are saying this because we love the movie.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. And the soundtrack, I just keep it playing in the background for the soundtrack. I don't even have to pay attention. I just start dancing around while I'm making pancakes in my boxer shorts and my bunny slippers.
See, nobody really needed that visual.
Well, it's not true, but I needed the visual because now I want to do it. It sounds awesome.
Well, now everybody thinks you have bunny slippers.
Yeah, well. Well, maybe I do. I tell you who doesn't, though. Rocket Raccoon, because he's CGI.
Rocket.
But there's a great online interview. You can find it on YouTube with the director, Mr. Gunn, talking to Vin Diesel about being the voice of Groot.
He is Groot.
You need to go watch that. It's like 8 minutes long, and
It's pretty funny.
there's some insightful stuff. But then you can see Vin Diesel try to get real serious about the role of saying, I am Groot.
He's a professional, man.
He is, and he said it a lot of different ways to express a lot of different emotion, and I believe Gunn appreciated that, but at the same time, Gunn made fun of him for it, like, it's just one line.
You just say the one thing.
And
he had one job, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and he basically says, you are the Jerry Maguire of Renee Zellweger's. Go see the interview for yourself. It is hilarious. But more importantly, make sure you own a copy of Guardians of the Galaxy on DVD because I already want to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if I want to see that one, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, more than Avengers 2. Maybe. I might.
That's a bold statement.
I know.
Now I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Avengers 2's coming. May 1st. Mayday, baby. It's coming. It'll be here.
Awesome.
It'll be here right before XCon.
It's just in time
For XCon.
For XCon.
We'll all be Ultron-y by then.
It's going to be magical.
Oh, yes.
And
But until
surprises. XCon surprises.
Until then, watch Guardians of the Galaxy every day. All right. Your favorite part of Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's a tough call.
Favorite scene or favorite part?
Favorite scene or part? I think probably the cool break it down part where they're getting out of the prison.
And how fast it happened? Yeah. Because they're like, and then we're going to get that, and Groot grabs the thing, and then they have to go quick.
Or we could do it now!
Yeah. That was pretty cool. For me, I think it's the soundtrack. I think that was the piece. I think I said this when we originally reviewed the movie, and watching it on DVD, it still holds for me. The soundtrack just glues the whole thing together, and without it, it could have been just this ridiculous space fantasy movie.
And to be honest, with some of the previews, I was afraid it was going to be a ridiculous space fantasy.
But the soundtrack gave it a real earthy feel, even though you're talking to blue people and all kinds of other weird stuff.
Blue people.
Yeah, it all. Thank you, Michael Rooker, by the way. He made that character. I'll never think of that character any differently.
Right?
And now, out there
You can't even go look at the classic comics anymore without thinking of Michael Rooker.
of Merle.
Merle.
They never had Terran before. They wanted to eat you, boy. He could be talking to Daryl about the walkers, and, and it was right there.
Oh.
Daryl, them walkers are going to eat you, but I wouldn't let them. So anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy on DVD, still at the store, ridiculously cheap, unless you go to one of those stores that they mark
Buy
it
it
up.
regularly. Buy it in Blu-ray.
Right.
Get a copy for the car and a copy for the house.
Pokemon. You thought it went away. Oh no, it did not.
It's back.
I'm here to tell you, it's back. Pokemon XY. It's all there. All the loving you need in Pokemon. This game refuses to die, man, just like the movies and the TV show.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's actually a really fun game.
Yeah.
It's a card game, deck building game like Magic, but it's not as hard at first. It can get really...
So it gets harder is what you're saying.
You can make it very complicated if you try to get into a lot of strategy analysis, but on its surface, it's a simple game I've taught my children to play. It says it's for 6-year-olds and up. My kids are 7 and 8. They picked it up pretty quickly. Now, do they pick up the nuance and the strategy? Not so much.
Not so much.
But do they have fun playing? Yes. Do they know how to play? Sure. Can they sit down and play in a tournament? Of course. Are they going to win the tournament? Not a chance. But they don't care. They just like playing. The thing that makes this a little bit simpler than Magic or other deck building games is you're limited to 60 cards in your hand. So Magic, you can make your deck as big as you're dumb enough to make it because it dilutes your deck and the chances of getting the card that you want to get become that much slimmer. This one you're limited to 60.
So you can't have more than 60.
You can't have more than 60, so you better make sure you know what's in your hand and you can figure out the odds on what you're going to get. You can also preload your deck with support cards, cards that help you get the cards that you want to get. And there's a lot of that in the Pokemon game, where draw extra cards, search your deck for a card, that kind of stuff. So you can really help yourself get the cards that you want when you want them. There's 2 stages of evolution, but in this new version, they've added some other Pokemons, the EX Pokemons. I guess it stands for extreme or extra or I don't know what. They're really pretty cards.
Exciting.
Yeah, they're really awesome cards. And those boys have a lot more health points, do a lot more damage. But when you kill one, it's like killing 2 of the other ones. Also, Magic, what you have start with 20 health, you can go up, you can go down. It could take a while to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
In Pokemon, there's 3 ways you can win the game. Defeat 6 of your opponent's Pokemon. 3 is the short version. Defeat 6 of your opponent's Pokemon before he defeats 6 of yours. Win the game.
Okay.
Defeat his Pokemon so that he has no active Pokemon and no Pokemon on the bench. Win the game. So that could just be beating 1. If he's only got 1 up and nothing on his bench and you beat that 1, game over. Or your opponent runs out of cards in his deck. Now that would be foolish for him to do, but there are cards you can play that allow you to draw more cards.
So if he doesn't have any more cards to cycle, he automatically loses.
He loses. So once you run out of your 60 card deck, it's a forfeit. So you also have to be careful. It makes you aggressive. You can't just sit back and build up your Pokemon and build up your energy and build up your specials waiting for that awesome assault, because you run out of cards, you lose. So you got to start attacking when
you have to hit them as hard as you can.
You need to hit with what you got instead of waiting for something better, because you run the risk of running out of cards and also losing the game.
You tabled yourself.
So I think a well-played single match should take maybe 20 minutes.
That's not bad.
Kids want to play. Your kids want to play. This is your chance to bring your kids down to the shop and play a game from your childhood. And let's all share that experience together. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Gotta catch them all.
Oh my, look! There's a cute girl on the couch! I'm gonna go get some pizza!
We made it!
And we're back!
2015, right back where we started.
Is it 2015?
Yeah, it is. But you know what? This set looks familiar because it's season 1 set. But there's going to be some new sets coming in the upcoming episodes. So just stay tuned for that.
Stuff is happening.
But right now, we're going to talk about Agent Carter. So now, I understand this is... what's her first name? It's the Carter that fell in love with Cap.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
Right, that's why I asked you.
It's from the Captain America movie.
Yeah, she fell in love
Same
with Cap.
actress.
Right. And this takes
Fantastic
place,
job.
this is like pre-Avengers, right? This is
Yes.
the precursor to the Avengers.
This is like the very dawning of S.H.I.E.L.D.
This must be like, what, mid 1940s, 1946?
Late 1946, yeah.
1946, right, okay.
Coming right at the end.
World War II's over. She obviously met Howard Stark, who flirted with her in Captain America movie. So now he's got her working for him, sorta-ish.
Kinda. In the first episode, he is being suspected of collusion with the enemy. So he contacts her privately to basically help him clear his name.
Now, who's the enemy at this point? Germany's gone.
Here's the thing. I think we're in the beginnings of the Cold War, but we've also got Hydra-ish organization in Europe that's still, the Red Skull's organization isn't completely gone. So there's all kinds of secret agent type characters that are popping up, and
So this is all
super dangerous too.
This is all the background build up to also what we saw going on at the end of season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The Hydra agents come out of the woodwork. We saw it in the second Captain America movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really brilliant how this TV show is tying movies and TV shows that came before it together.
And the other great thing is, she's trying to get back what Howard Stark calls his bad babies, which are these really, really super dangerous things he's invented that he won't let anybody have. Well, someone's stolen them all.
So this is like the old Friday the 13th series where
A little bit.
the artifacts are bad and you got to round them up
bit.
and get them back in the vault. Wasn't it Warehouse 13 was like this also?
Sure.
So this isn't an unfamiliar plot. We also met Vanko, the Russian scientist who is the father of Whiplash.
And Jarvis.
And we
get
meet
to meet
Jarvis.
Jarvis in
Yeah,
this.
so, it goes all the way back to like the second Iron Man movie, the first.
It's great.
It's all tied together.
Marvel's doing a great job with that.
Yeah. You mean the MCU? The Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah, the MCU.
Yeah. MCU.
That was awful.
It's fun to be in the MCU.
No, that did
That's
not just
happening.
happen.
That is happening, I'm afraid to tell you. Stan Lee is rolling over in his bed because he's not dead yet, so it's not his grave. Anyway, I love it. I think it's great. There's a lot of heavy feminism in it, but that really fits the period that they're putting it. Sorry to say, my grandfather's generation were racist and sexist, and that's what they're portraying. And I don't have a problem with watching it because it's historical.
Yeah, I've noticed online that there are a lot of people saying that's too over the top, and none of that ever really happened, and it did.
It
really
did.
happen like
It
that.
does, and I think they're handling it in a good way because she's overcoming it in a way that was appropriate for the time. I don't want to give too much away, but it's very appropriate. The writing is really good, I guess.
Sure.
Great,
strong female character, and I think she really owns it.
Yeah, I saw one critic, a well-respected critic, say, unlike Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that Whedon has put together, which feels like TV episodes, this feels like a really long movie broken up into 8
It really
parts.
does. It's really well made.
So, and they had the budget for 16 episodes, and they decided to take all of the money and spend it on 8. So they've really spared no expense for a TV show and putting this together.
It's great too. You watch it and you have no trouble believing the period. All the cars are correct. All the buildings. Nobody's
got a cell phone. So Marvel's Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. on now. Check it out. Get your Marvel fill because Avengers will be here in just 5 months, so just hold tight, and we'll see you next time.
What are you, some kind of nerd? When I am in Myrtle Beach, I hang out with my fellow nerds at Nerd Bar on Main Street. On Thursdays, I enjoy the board games and the beer nights before I get to the chopper. Yeah, go to Facebook.com/NerdBar1 for more info. I'll be back.
Well, it's the gaming segment, which I understand is going to be morphing a little bit in Season 2 into all kinds of things, including anime and just plain old goofiness. But for right now, we're going to talk about something that's been going on. I think this is year 4, maybe year 5 even. Scarab. Scarab goes on in Columbia every year in the middle of January. It's a 4-day gaming convention.
Big gaming convention.
It's going on right now. While you're watching this, people are still probably playing Pathfinder at Scarab in Columbia.
I guarantee they'll be playing up until next week.
And I will be driving back from having meetings and talking to vendors and getting things ready for XCon to make that all awesome.
This is gonna be awesome.
And I will have played a little bit of War Machine myself, because this is the one time a year I get to sit down and play some games.
Throw down.
Yeah, and get beat a lot. But that's okay. I still have fun. I'm the guy I don't mind losing as long as it's fun. As long as you have a good attitude. But Scarab's got War Machine, Warhammer, Munchkin, Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, games I never even heard of. I Drank What? What's that? Ticket to Ride.
Do they do Cards Against Humanity there?
They do Cards Against Humanity. They do some kind of dinosaur board miniatures battle game.
Star Wars miniatures battle.
Flames of War, yeah. Star Trek. Hero Clicks. I mean, if it's a nerd game, they're playing it all.
Checkers. Chess.
No, they're not doing that.
Backgammon.
No. Tiddlywinks. No, they're not doing that. But they are doing they have a rather large LARPing segment.
Oh, LARPing is happening now.
LARP. LARP stands for Live Action Role Play. LARP. People don't really dress.
Is that some nerd sign language
That's
thing
some
you're doing?
script I was giving you. There's a little bit of dressing up. There's a lot of goofiness. Instead of just sitting there playing Dungeons & Dragons at a table, they run around the hotel lobby and ballroom pretending to be wizards and warriors and clerics
LARPing
and
is
dragons.
fun. Come on.
Yeah, so they
You just
LARP.
want to dress up and act like an idiot for a couple hours.
And large numbers of people do. My kids went with me last year to Scarab, and they thought it was amazing that grown-ups would act like they do.
Well, there you go.
That's exactly what they thought. Look, grown-ups play dress up and act like we do.
Word?
They have an anime viewing room that my oldest daughter camped out in. And when someone came to her and said, "Honey, should you be in here watching this?" her response was, "It's okay, my dad's a nerd." And which got reported directly back to me.
Oh, good times.
I love my kids. They're doomed, but I love them.
So it'd be pretty nerdy.
So if you're in the Columbia area, you should definitely check out Scarab. It will be going on tomorrow on Monday, Martin Luther King Day. So you didn't miss it. You can go check it out. They got gaming vendors there, some of which we'll drag down to XCon. And a lot of the game masters will drag down to XCon to be playing some games with
if
you.
you've come to XCon in the past, you've probably done some games with Scarab because they
Yes.
come and run games.
They
for
do
us.
a mini version at XCon of what they do in Columbia for 4 days.
And it's cool because they bring all the games with them. You don't have to spend any money.
Just sit
You
down
can
and play.
Sit down and play, and then if you decide you do like it, then you can buy the game and go to town.
Come on over to XCon Comics, buy yourself a game. You went for it.
I totally went
He
for it.
totally went for it.
Like
So-
a dancing pig.
Yeah, man. We'll have some new games to show you coming up in the following episodes, and some new fun stuff that you guys don't even know about yet. Stuff you can't imagine.
So cool. It'll
blow your mind. Including a new segment. We might as well mention it now. Brolos in the news. That is in the pipe work, and it is coming to us. And we'll see you next time.
Good evening, and welcome to Brolos
And Brolaws.
in the News.
I'm Sam.
Nobody cares, Sam. And I'm John. Tonight's top story, a homeless man steals an ambulance. Why, you might ask? Boobs.
As well as an angry Alabama fan that thought the results of the Sugar Bowl were a bit crappy.
But first,
Well, while we're on the subject of cards, feel free to send a birthday card to Brolo Noble Shane Moore.
you were actually right, Sam. Shane Moore sure does love his birthday wishes.
Got it! Oh my gosh! I'm gonna tweet this right now. It's time now for our nitty of the week.
This week's number one nitty is none other. Cassidy, here I come. Be sure to like the Brolo News Network on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Until next time, Nation.
Hashtag no nitties.
Here we are in the Not Comics Corner. Comics Corner, new set coming soon.
It's going to be amazing.
So we're here on the awesome couch to talk to you about what Forbes magazine, that's right, you heard me, Forbes magazine called the most important comic of 2015.
The most important comic of 2015.
When did Forbes magazine become the Comic Critics magazine?
Right?
Anyway, they called this a sure investment. Now that part I don't know about. But if you didn't know what we were talking about,
Behold!
Star Wars #1.
Oh!
Now, there have been other Star Wars runs. Even Marvel's had a Star Wars run or two.
Marvel did the original Star Wars.
But this is important because there was a lot of, maybe this is why Forbes covered it. A lot of things had to happen. A lot of machinations.
True.
As you probably know, Dark Horse was doing the Star Wars thing, and the license expired. License was owned by Lucas. Lucas was bought by Disney. Disney also owns Marvel. Ergo, dun, 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 dun. Star Wars has come home to Marvel Comics. This book is picking up after the very first movie. Death Star's destroyed. What happens to our cast of characters? Kind of a weird place for me
It's really strange.
because I saw that movie already. It was called Empire Strikes Back. But evidently, Aaron feels like there's a lot of material in between those movies to create a lot of extra story writing. And I'm okay with that because what he's written is pretty cool.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody but Obi-Wan Kenobi's still alive now. I mean, and we got Darth Vader
It's
still
kinda
around.
cool.
Yeah, everybody's still around, so we
Luke
get to
doesn't have that weird scar on his face.
yet. They haven't gone to Hoth yet. No, we get to relive our childhood with these stories. It's like when we walked out of that theater in 1970 whatever, and we're like more. Well, finally, 40 years later, we're getting some more.
It's not been that many years.
Oh, but this book is such a big deal. They've had 50 variant
Oh,
covers.
there's more than 50 variant covers.
There's tons.
There's just 50 from Marvel.
These are the books and the covers you're gonna want to buy one of these to read it because it's a good story, and you're gonna want to buy a bunch of these to put away in boards and bags.
Like all of these variants that we have.
Let's just start with the one I'm gonna keep.
Alex Ross variant. What?
This is Alex Ross hand painted cover. This is a $50 variant. I feel like I'm on Home Shopping. Look at the quality. Look at the quality. Look at the sparkle of that comic cover. This is a high quality book. Now this is a $50 variant that may not be for sale unless you hurry in and get this because I'm tempted to keep it.
You're going to have to steal it from Robin.
Okay, who did this one?
That's J. Scott Campbell.
J. Scott Campbell. That's definitely his style. Look at the sheen on that. I'm still in Home Shopping here. Look at the way the lightsaber.
You're killing me.
Beautiful covers. They're all really awesome.
Cool.
All right, this is one of my favorites. Now, this is only a $10 variant, so this is like a 1 in 20.
I think that's a 1 in 15.
1 in 15. But who's that? Who's that? The young Mark Hamill is
He's
Luke
like
Skywalker.
12 in that picture.
Oh, it's such a beautiful
Look at him.
cover.
Look at him.
And there's more.
So young and peaceful. There's
There's a-
all kinds. We just
there's a
got
couple
all kinds
more.
of variants.
Look at that.
Every major comic book store has their own variant. Even our friends up in Charlotte.
Yeah, Rebel Base has got their
Rebel
own.
Base has a Rebel Base exclusive Star Wars variant.
So
How cool is that?
Literally, you open it up and it says, "In a galaxy far, far away," and I got chills. And then you go and it's like the Death Star's been destroyed. The rebels are hopeful. The Empire is reeling, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is picking up right there. I was right back to being like 7 years old in the theater eating popcorn.
It just melts away years of jaded fandom.
I'm like, oh, I'm right here. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this. What's going to happen next? And all of a sudden, the Millennium Falcon, and I had to read it twice. I suggest you get down here and you get one of these. Now, every comic shop probably ordered heavy on these. However, they're flying off the shelves.
I would definitely not wait too long.
There's going to be reorders, but they're all going to be second printings, and you want to own a first printing if you want it to be valuable
Absolutely.
down the road. So, wherever you are, stop what you're doing, go to your local comic shop, and get this book while there's some left. Make sure it's a first printing, because the second printings are out yet, and save it.
Get a bunch of them.